Hey NFL fans, this is Gary Greene, longtime professional bettor here for Gary Wins Videos, and this is your NFL Week 13 Monday Night Football preview and pick. The game in Denver for Monday night as the Cleveland Browns will travel to take on the Broncos. The Broncos are a 6-point favorite, the total 42. Kickoff temperature expected to be pretty nice for this time of year in Denver, 44 degrees in that range. And does not look like any snow or high wind, which is great. For Cleveland, they have not fared well going to the high altitude in Denver. They are just 2-14 straight up their last 16 trips to Denver. Very tough to play in that altitude. These two teams, though, come in. Cleveland is 3-8. Denver is 7-5. Denver, though, just 3-2 at home. The two teams headed in totally opposite directions. It's been a long season for the Cleveland Browns, and they will not be going to any playoffs this game. They can run the table. They're not making the playoffs. As for the Denver Broncos, they come in pretty hot. They've won 4 of 6, and one of those 2 losses was a blocked field goal that would have won the game against Kansas City, and they would really be coming in 5-1 in their last 6. So they've been playing very solid football, and I did a stock up on Denver on one of my videos a month or so ago, saying that I expected this team to continue to roll due to the fact that Bo Nix, the quarterback, was playing well. And guess what? He's won 3 straight Rookie of the Week awards. So kudos to him. Not a lot of people expected him to be too good this year. In fact, many called him a bust. It's been the exact opposite. In fact, since week 3, folks, Bo Nix has 14 touchdown passes and just 2 interceptions. As far as this game goes, Denver's got wins over Tampa Bay, the Jets, Vegas, New Orleans, Carolina, Atlanta, and Vegas. So the wins really aren't against high-level teams. But again, they did play Kansas City competitive, but we've seen now Kansas City plays every single game down to the final snap, it seems like, or within a field goal. So Kansas City's not what they were before. But they have turned the corner. The defense is young, but boy, this defense is really good. In fact, they're number 3 in the league in scoring defense, and they're number 1 in red zone touchdowns allowed, and they're also 3rd in total yards allowed. So they're holding up their end of the bargain. And once Bo Nix got on board and got his feet wet after those first 2 rough first weeks, this is a team that's playing well on both sides of the ball. Nobody wants to play a team like that. At this time of the year, a lot of teams have a lot of injuries. For the most part, the Denver Broncos have been pretty lucky. Cleveland, of course, as we know, multiple injuries, which does not help anybody's cause when you have a lot of injuries. But the last 3 games for Bo Nix, he's got at least 2 touchdown passes and at least 200 yards passing. Now, the Denver Broncos defense going against this Cleveland offensive line, they should be really chomping at the bit and excited to get this game kicked off, because the Cleveland Browns offensive line is the 2nd worst in the league. They've allowed 47 quarterback sacks. And last week, the Denver Broncos had 5 sacks and 2 fumble recoveries against Vegas, and that was without their top pass rusher, Allen. Zach Allen was out. He is going to return and play in this game, so that's an added boost for the Denver Broncos pass rush on Monday night. Now, Cleveland, the only good news so far really coming into this game is they are off a very good high, a big win over the rival Pittsburgh Steelers in a snowstorm, and they had a bye week. So they're coming in at least the right time of year to get a bye, get their head straight, and come in at least with non-tired legs. And you need that going into this altitude, because you could get wiped out fast with that altitude with your legs. As far as the Browns go, though, they've lost all 4 road games this year. The weird part about it is they lost by 4-4, 21, and 21. So they've played competitive twice, got blown out twice. Not too much to help you here with a 6-point line. They would have covered 2 and lost 2. Somehow, though, this bad Cleveland team this year has been able to beat 9-3 Pittsburgh, 8-5 Baltimore, and they almost beat 10-2 Philly. So go figure. That's the NFL, though, folks. That's the NFL in a nutshell. Now, the key to the game for the Cleveland Browns to win, they have to get to Bo Nix at the quarterback spot. The one thing about Nix is he will hold the ball a little long. He's a runner, but they have changed the game plan. He is no longer running. They're not even designing running plays. He'll run on a scramble, but that's it, especially the last 3 weeks. No running whatsoever, no called plays at all. So that means they're going to go back and they're going to let him pass. It's up to the Cleveland defense to get to him and get sacks. Now, he has been sacked in 5 straight games. In fact, he's been sacked 10 times the last 5 games. So he's getting average sack twice a game. A little high, you don't want that. Again, the competition hasn't been really all that great because I told you already the wins are not against teams that are that great. But I'm going to go ahead and use my prop pick for this game. Still don't know what the prop pick. This is being taped before the Buffalo Bills game. We're 13-1 with prop picks. We're going to go with this pick because this guy is as solid as it gets. MVP in the NFL. Myles Garrett, the pass rusher for the Cleveland Browns. He's having a great year. I say, the prop is, will Myles Garrett get a sack, yes or no? And I say yes. Yes, 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 yes. Myles Garrett to record a sack in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if he got 2 or 3 in this game because he has been phenomenal. He is really uncoverable for guys on the offensive lines. And again, the Denver line is not great. It's not poor. It's in the middle of my rankings. So I would expect that he could get one. But for the final conclusions here, for Cleveland, they're the second lowest scoring team in the NFL. Okay, the only team they're ahead of is the horrific New York Giants offense, and I had to look twice because that's almost hard to believe that there's somebody actually. I mean, the Giants are so bad that I didn't think anybody was even close. That's how bad the Cleveland Browns offense has been. So for the Browns, they're facing this Denver team, and again, I call them the most underrated defense in the league. I think that right now it's funny because Jerry Jeudy will return to Denver. He's now with the Browns, and he's chomping at the bit to get back at his old team. The problem is he's going against Patrick Surtain, and that's going to be an impossible matchup for him. Surtain has been a locked down guy as a cornerback, so he's not going to get an advantage there. And even Jeudy says it's very hard to play in the altitude. So if they fall a little bit behind early, I would be worried if you're taking the Cleveland side. Again, though, the Denver Broncos, still a young team. You're still asking them to win basically by a touchdown. It's a primetime TV game. You could get a little amped up for these games sometimes. A lot of these guys, it's the first time they're playing on a Monday Night Football. But the thing about Denver is, if you're worried about laying the 6, if you're thinking about betting Denver, when they win, the margins are usually gigantic. They've won by 10, 32, 14, 23, 16, 19, and 16. Only one time did they win a game and not cover this spread of 6 points tonight, and that was a 1-point game way early in the season when they beat the New York Jets 10-9 at New York, and that was before the collapse of the New York Jets defense. So the Denver Broncos playing very well. As long as they control their own destiny, they can make it into the playoffs on their own doing. They don't need help from anybody. You got to tip your hat to Peyton and the job that he's done with this young bunch. I feel that they were about a year or 2 away, and they're right there in the thick of things. And again, they're a team that nobody wants to play. The Cleveland Browns, like I said, you want to take chances betting teams like this in the long run. Bad teams, even on their greatest games, still don't cover. And so I would not even be looking to take the Cleveland Browns. But that's your Monday night preview here for Gary Wins Videos. I'm Gary Greene here in Las Vegas. Make sure you check out all our videos. Make sure you bookmark us and check back all weekend long. On Monday and Tuesday, I'll do my college football stock up and downs. I'll do my NFL stock up and downs, and I'll do a quick early look at the line placement for these college football title games, my favorite week of the year. I love the championship Saturday, and this year it's Friday and Saturday, so we got 2 days of fun action in college football. You don't want to miss it. So I hope everybody had a great winning weekend and have a great week ahead. God bless.